This microphone is very short. I don't have much length to go with, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Conveniently, today I finished another sketchbook. This one was handmade in December of 2021, back long time ago, not recently. Yeah, I've just taken my time filling it. It is a huge, super huge sketchbook, and it's just taken me a really long time to finish it. And in fact, this is actually one of the less traditional this is one of the less traditional sketchbooks that I've filled, and when we take a deep dive inside of it, you'll see what I mean. All right, so this is sketchbook technically number 8. It's titled number 8, but I've done an 8.5, so technically this is the 9th sketchbook that I've filled, so take that for what you will. This thing is hand-bound. This is the 3rd hand-bound sketchbook that I've made, and without getting into too much about it, I bought a pad of paper and had this hard back on it, and then I bought some scrapbooking paper to glue on either side of it, and then on the insides, right? And then of course the paper is multicolored, so there's a bunch of different colors of paper, and then bound it up with some wax thread. And that's it. So let's get to the start, and like I said, December 2021, so it's been a little while. There is something special about this sketchbook. It is the transitional sketchbook. This is the sketchbook where I was doodling still back in the day, and I transitioned out of doodling to a more, I guess, my style today, which I'm still kind of discovering, but you can kind of watch me transition out of that, which is super neat. So I don't know if I'll sit here and talk about every single picture, but I will flip through it for sure so that you can see, because it is a rather large sketchbook. But I will flip through and hit on the notable points, that was really cool, actually. Super cool. See, I don't do this style anymore. I don't draw like this at all anymore. This doodling style. See, this is at the very end of the style here, which is super neat, actually. Looking at it now as more like a retrospective thing, I love this art, the art that I've made in this time period, but that's just not where my heart is anymore. So I started to do character designs. I wanted to do character design, so I did a lot of studies. But of course, you can see where I just felt like I'm not good at it, so I have to like revert back to what I know and then push back and then do some more studies with some pen, and then kind of did a merge of the two where I did a sketch and then, or a doodle and then a study on top of it. Kind of merge the two. And this is kind of where the peak of my, this is my favorite part of the transition, is the fact that I was still doodling, but at the same time I wanted to do like studies and things, so I would just kind of merge the two together. And I think it ended up kind of cool. Some of them anyway. I've got some pretty heartfelt notes scribbled throughout this, and that was one thing that I wanted to do throughout this entire sketchbook, was collect stickers and thank you notes and love letters and things of that nature from people that I really care about. So yeah, this is going to be laced all throughout here, so you can take the time to pause it and read through that if you want to, but it's going to be laced all the way through. So again, collecting some stickers and doing that doodle style. And I let kids draw through all of my sketchbooks. If I'm drawing, I'm always around kids, and if a kid decides, hey, gets really inspired by watching me draw, they want to draw too, here you go, just kind of hand them the notebook and let them do whatever they want to. So that's a pretty consistent thing throughout most of my sketchbooks. This is another one of those things where like the transition, right? So I'm doodling this whole time and I feel kind of bored with it or whatever. I feel like it doesn't really look cool or look like anything. So I made it look like, I just kind of did an amalgamation of two different styles. I put Link in there and smacking whatever this goo thing is. It's kind of cool. And sometimes I would doodle, but oops, I did it upside down, so I'd have to write flip so that I know to flip the page. It's a cool looking dude. Again, with that style, trying to make something out of it, trying to do this doodle style and then make a thing out of it, I suppose. Some more doodles. Some more thank you letters and doodles. A bit of a study. I remember actually we were sitting in Books A Million when I did these two, I believe. And of course, right around last year, actually about a year ago, I got bored of doodling, bored of whatever. So I actually went to a live study, and there was a model there, and we watched her, or we sketched her over the course of maybe 3 hours. She posed for us and did various sketches, varied time sketches, which was super cool. And again with the the kids. And I think I actually went to this twice, but the second time I actually modeled. So there's actually a ton of art. I actually snapped some pictures. I'm not going to show them because I don't want you to see my dinky. But I actually modeled for the people here sketching the week after this. So actually this sketch here inspired a set of paintings that I did, which is on the YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Character design was really what I was into a year ago. So I'm looking at doing studies mostly. I also love dragons. I don't know if you know this about me, but I like dragons a whole lot. This is one of my favorite drawings in this whole sketchbook. And I'll point out my top 5 maybe. Some Pokemon, Gen 5. Some Yu-Gi-Oh! Some stallion studies. I think this is when we first picked up Breath of the Wild and started playing it, right around here. This series, if you could notice, like I taped in some of my art. This is called a signature. I don't know if you know this or not, but like the binding here, each one of these bindings is called a signature. And so for this specific signature here, I decided to tape in a bunch of my old artworks. So this ranges anywhere from like 2017 to maybe like 2020, 2021, something of that nature. So there's just, various amounts of styles in here. This is actually sketches for a playmat that I designed. Super cool. Another letter from my friend Raquel. These are actually a handful of photos that I have from, these are all family members, and they're all deceased, actually. They're all passed away at this point, and that's my mom here. So, yeah, something that she did was collect photos and then take photos of me and my family, so it's super nice. And inside of here, another thing that I taped in, just again from 2020, cool sketch that never really found its way into a tour, never found its way into a sketchbook of any sort or something there of that nature, and I decided it deserved a place. So, some more stuff from 2020. I believe this was either 19 or 2020. Like right when COVID happened is when I was doing this style. And this was like COVID happened and it was calming down at that point. This was before COVID. This was actually while I was a apprentice at a tattoo parlor, which didn't work out too well. So same thing right before COVID, both of these guys. This is a picture that I found in a magazine in 2016. And this actually is the preliminary sketch to the first t-shirt design that I ever designed, which is super cool. It's a cool place to cement it. It's right here. And just another friend of mine on her typewriter, which is super neat. It's another sketch here, just taped in. It's cool. I clocked in about 60 hours of Elden Ring, and I was a samurai the entire time. This was definitely when I had bought the Breath of the Wild art book and was referencing this for preparation for another big painting that I did that was Zelda inspired. This was when the day that I found out that the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh passed away, which is this day. And you can see I did a dip pen. I was using a dip pen, and then it bled all over whenever I went to put it down. It like pooped onto the paper, and so I wiped it off, and then LOL, it just kind of, oh well, it is what it is. Just sitting outside doodling. This was a doodle, something that I didn't use reference for or whatever. I just kind of, whatever. I actually started using colored pencils around this time, and this is me just kind of playing with it, and as you can see, it looks god-awful. It looks terrible. It looks totally garbage. Kind of a mirrored drawing here. This colored pencil project was a little bit nicer, I believe. I like the way this one turned out a lot better than I did the previous one, for sure. Especially the shiny Gyarados. That's a cool touch. This one, not so much. We're not even going to spend time with it. I hate it. This was actually a funny one. I was designing a new avatar, like potentially a new avatar, and I kind of landed on something of this nature. And then the same day that this happened, the very next day actually, my son got lice. And he started to, like, I didn't want him to feel left out or anything, and I had been growing my hair out for a year at that point. I hit the year mark. And, well, I shaved my head. I shaved my head, I shaved my son's head, and this project kind of went to trash. So it is what it is. This is about the haircut that I have now, though, so I might come back to this one here. I like that one. Again, kids playing in it. Kids playing. More Pokemon. This was right around when Scarlet and Violet was coming out, maybe, or before that. Something of that nature. Before that, for sure. Just another thank you. Because a lot of these notes are in addition to packages that I've ordered. Like this one's hope you enjoy the stickers. So it's I buy stickers and T-shirts and things of that nature from YouTubers or Instagram people that I find on the internet, and I make sure to shout them out and say thank you, and I just let people know that I'm watching them, like, hey, I see your work and I appreciate your work, and here I want to purchase something of yours, and usually it's super nice. Plus we were a pen pals for a little while. Again, same thing. More Zelda. More Pokemon. Study. Animal study. This was before I got my octopus tattoo, actually. So I was doing a little octopus study there. And then going back and appreciating animals. Some Godzilla stuff. Some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. The Millennium Ring. A sticker I got from Jazza. Jazza sticker. Again with the letter. Also, I don't know if you noticed this. Maybe you have. But I've also bought several pieces of this paper. What did I call it here? This same paper. The scrapbooking paper. And I interwove it into the sketchbook as well. So there's like, this is the same sheet of paper as this. So it's like folded into it. So, and it's laced all the way through the sketchbook. So, and I mean, we're only just halfway there. So this could be the worst drawing in the sketchbook. Like, could be the worst drawing in the sketchbook. It's so bad. Oh, it's awful. But some more animal studies. You can't have a sketchbook without having a Spidey sketch in here. At least one. According to my son. I actually did a whole video, I recorded a video about things I'm bad at drawing, and I even drew all these things, but I didn't post the video for one reason or another, whatever reason, but everything I decided that I'm bad at drawing hands and feet, and then to extend it, I never really drew a realistic nose, so I tried that. I've drawn a realistic eye before, but never seriously, I guess. So I tried again, and this is one of those phases where I'm just kind of experimenting, playing with styles, playing with things that I find on Pinterest, because again, way back when I was just doodling, I didn't use reference or anything. So now I'm sitting here with like, what the hell do I draw? So I just did a bunch of references on the internet. Just kind of used those. And that's really what a lot of this is. All of this is just studies on Pinterest. All of it. This was actually a preliminary sketch for a commission. Dragon stuff. Super into dragons. I've done several dragon paintings since I started this. And I'll probably end up doing several more because dragons are freaking cool, man. My stepdaughter likes Eevee. She likes all the Eeveelutions, so I had to draw her a couple just to tickle her fancy. And then obviously, I don't feel like drawing a lot of times, and this is how I feel most of the time, is I'm not motivated to draw. But sometimes I just, I have to, just to keep the, I don't do it because it's fun at this point. Like, I don't draw because it's fun. I do it because it's a good habit to have, and honestly, I don't know why I still draw. And this is the reason, like, this whole sketchbook is figuring out why, what do I do this for? Why is it, and my reason is changing at this point. My reason for drawing continuously is evolving, and that's okay. And I'm still in the development stage of that, of what do I want to draw for. I'm still working on that. But I'm working on a magnolia tattoo because I'm from Mississippi, and this is our state flower. Preliminary sketch for a big painting that I've done that I recorded and never posted to YouTube. Another preliminary dragon sketch that never made it past this part. Okay, so this is when Tears of the Kingdom came. The official date was announced, which was whenever. And I said I was going to draw something Zelda-themed every single day until the day comes out, until the game comes out. And obviously it's out now. It's been out for a week or so. And my God, I've played so much of the game. Oh my God. But yeah, so I do want to, I drew a bunch of Zelda in the meantime. Just because, Zelda's awesome. This is a top five, maybe top 3 favorite pieces in the sketchbook. This is incredible. I was just feeling it that day, and just like, this is a colored pencil, and it just, the way I did it just looks incredible. It looks like a sketch, but it looks appropriate because of this like rock themed character. It just looks amazing. It looks incredible. My God, it looks amazing. And then Midna, actually, I did this drawing and then did a painting. You know what? I keep referring to these paintings. Let me go grab one for you. Here is one of the paintings that I did. I keep referencing the paintings. I'm like, oh, this was a sketch that I turned into a painting. This is a sketch that I turned into a painting. I painted this over the course of, I did this one day, and this took me like 3 days to do. So there's an idea of my painterly style, I suppose. So actually, that's a good point. Used to, my sketchbook, my big project for like my art was my sketchbook. But now it's transforming into the fact that my sketchbook is now becoming more so of a guide, a tool, a starting point for bigger projects such as paintings, such as t-shirt designs, such as, I mean, I've done card mats. I've done all kinds of different things at this point, and that's kind of what this is for, is just to keep me in practice. This is one of my least favorite pieces, and one of my least favorite. Okay, so this is another signature where I just taped in a bunch of my old work. So here we go. And I say old, it varies age from 2017 to 2021. It's different stages of my life. I was still in the Army, actually, when I did these two, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I was still in the Army when I did these. Which I really want to turn this into something. This was fucking cool. This was cool. I was in the Army for this one and this one. And this one and this one. See, 2017. 17. I can't, oh yeah, I did in 2018, like right at 2018. 2018, probably the same amount of time. 2020, 2018, so it's, yeah, it's a big range, a big wide range. This is actually the preliminary sketch for the very first, not the first one, but the most recent t-shirt that I did. I'm lying. This is not the most recent t-shirt. This is a t-shirt design that I designed, and this is the preliminary sketch. When I just had a pocket journal, and I just had it in my back pocket, and I was like, oh my God, that's an incredible idea. And that's like the quick little 2-minute sketch that I did. And this is actually a drawing that Asher, when he was maybe 4 or 5, I can't remember, he did a stick figure. He did the eyes, and then the head, and then the smiley face, and like the arms and legs and stuff, and I turned it into Spider-Man because, again, if I'm drawing in front of my son, I can't not draw Spider-Man. I have to draw Spider-Man. It's just what it is. It's a rule at this point. Drawing more Zelda until the game comes out. Mind you, I actually drew a lot more Zelda-themed things in between, like, outside of this sketchbook. I'm not going to show them right now because they're not a part of this sketchbook, so it doesn't really matter. This is actually something a friend of mine did. And I just taped it in here because at this point I have a lot of loose pieces of art like this, and you're going to see that here in just a second. But a lot of my friends have sent me pieces of art, and I just don't have anywhere else to put it, so I'm putting it here. Mary June. This is actually a whole series of hers. This is I'm assuming they're prints of the original artwork. But I'm assuming they're postcards that she sent me. And I didn't want to send them off as postcards. I wanted to keep them. So I kept this. I kept the bookmarks she sent me. And I put them all in here. The whole series that she sent me, they're all in this sketchbook. And at this point, it's like, is this my sketchbook? Is this her sketchbook at this point? Is this just a scrapbook? So it's kind of like all over the place. But it's definitely its own piece, its own work in progress, I suppose. And it's a combination of many different things. Everything but a journal, I suppose. And that's it, actually. This is the whole notebook. This is the entire thing, and I just wrote this today just to kind of send it off and look forward to the next piece. But this dude is... this thing's been okay to work with. Not my favorite sketchbook by far, but not my least favorite by far. It's somewhere in the middle. If I've done 8, maybe my 4th favorite one. Something like that. Maybe 4th favorite. Something of that nature. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Thank you. See ya. Thank you. I'm glad you like the art. Well, what? Tell me what you think about the art. Give me a something if you like it. If you don't like it, what do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Tell me in the comments, and I'll see you later. See ya.